This example shows you how to graph a scatter plot using R. With all plots, you need to first put in the data. So we're going to go get some data. The example I'm going to use is there a relationship between altitude and high temperatures on a given day? So here's some altitudes, and here's some high temperatures. I am letting X, my independent variable, be altitude, and Y, the temperature, be the dependent variable. So I'm going to go into R and I'm going to type this in. Normally I just copy and paste, but this time I think I'll just go ahead and type and just remind you how to type the data in. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to actually use X for my variable, because there's no reason, well actually maybe I'll use altitude. So we'll use altitude for the variable, so we don't have to worry about which one's X and which one's Y. So I'll put an altitude, and again you put the less than symbol on the line and create an arrow, and then C, and then we just type in the values. So the first one was 7,000, 4,000, 6,000, 3,000, 7,000, 4,500, and 5,000. Again, close the parenthesis and hit enter. And then the other one was temperature. Do remember again that R is case sensitive, so if you want to use capital T, that's fine, but you have to remember to use that always. So I'll put in, make sure you put in the 50 went with the 7,000 and the 60 went with the 4,000, so make sure you put them in the right order. Don't mix up the order because they are ordered pairs, basically. So I've got those in, close the parenthesis and hit enter. Now to create the plot, all you have to do is say I want to plot altitude and then temperature. So that will create the plot. Then again, we always like to have titles. So I'm going to do main, altitude versus temperature. If I hit enter on this, whoops, I must have typed in something wrong. I guess I can't spell, which is part of my problem. I spelled temperature wrong. There we go. Okay. So then I get my plot, and this is my plot. And it did put altitude down here, and temperature on the vertical axis. So it did give me labels. It might be nice to put in the units on those. And so I want to go ahead and change that so I can get units in there. And so I might want to put my own X limit and Y label on there. The other problem is that this graph doesn't start at 0. It's on the vertical axis. It starts at 50 on the vertical axis. So you want to make that happen. You always want to have it be that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into here. We're going to put in a new thing. We're going to first put an X label is equal to altitude, and that was in feet. And then a Y label, YLab, is equal to temperature, and that was in Fahrenheit, degrees Fahrenheit. Degrees F, I'll just call it. All right. And then the other thing is we're going to do a new one called YLim. YLim actually is the Y limits. And we want the Y limits to start at 0. So we're going to say that they're equal to combining 0. And then we want it to go up to something above our highest value. I noticed 70 was our highest value, so maybe we put an 80 to go above the highest. Now we hit enter. Again, nothing comes up because I didn't close that graph, so the graph is still back there in the background. And now you can see the vertical axis starts at 0, goes up to 80. You can see my altitude is in feet, and my temperature is in degrees Fahrenheit, and I have my title. And so now I have a better looking graph for my scatter plot. At this point, you can copy this and paste it into Word.